Hello, young disciples of New Hope Parish. For the past couple of weeks, we've been talking quite a bit about being disciples or followers of Jesus. And that means that we're trying very hard to be like Jesus, and we're trying to do the things that he taught when he was here on earth. And the way we find out about those things, of course, is by reading the Bible, by going to church and Sunday school when we can in the building. And of course, we learn by praying to God. Now, I'm going to read from the Bible today some words that were written by one of Jesus' disciples. His name was Paul. And these words tell what he is thinking about prayer. And then after we have those words, then we're going to do an experiment with Skittles. I'm going to read from Philippians. And this is a letter that Paul wrote to the people of Philippi. He had been there working with them, and then after he left, he wrote this letter to them. And this is what Paul said to the people of Philippi. I thank my God every time I mention you in my prayers. I'm thankful for all of you every time I pray, and it's always a prayer full of joy. I'm glad because of the way you have been my partners in the ministry of the gospel from the time you first believed it until now. I'm sure about this. The one who started a good work in you will stay with you to complete the job. And we know that the one that started that good work in them was Jesus when he was on earth. So these are the words that Paul wrote to them after he left the city. And he said that he thanked God for the Philippians, the people of Philippi. And the reason that he did that was because he had worked together with them. And he said that it's a joy to work with you and to know that you are continuing the work that we started. Now let's go ahead and do that experiment, and we'll see what happens when we are filled with joy. I'm going to have to move the camera a little bit so you can see. I have a plate here that is covered with Skittles. You see that? It's covered with Skittles, isn't it? And I'm going to pour some hot water on these Skittles. And we'll see if I can do this while I'm holding the camera. I have my water bottle here, and it has some hot water in it. I'm going to pour just enough so it can get to the Skittles. And then we're going to see what happens. Do you see what's happening to the colors? They're starting to overflow from the Skittles. And when we follow Jesus and we show love to other people, and when we thank God for the people in our lives, when we worship God with other disciples, then we're filled with a joy that overflows from us to other people. Sharing the joy that we have in Jesus with other people is what being a disciple is all about. I thank God for you too when I pray, because even though we've not been together in our church building for quite a while, I know that you are still being faithful disciples of Jesus, and my heart is filled with joy and it overflows with joy when I think of you, and I look forward to worshiping with you in person again soon. Let's have a prayer. Dear God, we thank you with joy for Jesus' love, and for our church family. Help us to keep sharing Jesus' love with everyone, now while we're apart and when we can be together again. Amen.